What's up, guys? It's Seth again here with Cognito Moto. Today I'm going to be showing you how to lace one of our rear disc conversion hubs to a 17-inch rim. Because it's a 17-inch rim, it's going to go across one pattern. If it was an 18-inch rim, it'd go across two pattern. Most of our hubs are going to be laced up in the same way for the rears. All right, guys. So with your rim, you're going to get all this stuff right here. You got two different types of spokes. You got a packet of nipples, and you got grease. With the rear wheel, you're gonna have two different kind of spokes here. Some of them are a little bit more bent, some are less bent. You wanna keep those separated. The less bent ones are gonna go on the outside of the hub. The ones that are more bent are gonna be going on the inside later. We're not gonna use these right now, so you can just put those to the side. Next, you're gonna take your grease and grease the nipples. All right, now you can take your spokes that are a little less bent that are going to be going on the outside and start threading them through the hub. All right, so just like the front hub, you're going to take your first half of spokes and thread them through every other hole in the hub. And then instead of taking these spokes and threading them through here, we're going to do that later because you're going to come in from the outside. So we can go ahead and flip this over. And instead of going up and to the right like on the front hub, you're going to go up and to the left on the rears. Just like that. All right, and now you're going to take your spokes and just cross them over each other once. And then a second time just to get the spokes out of the way so it doesn't scratch your rim when you put it on top of everything. All right, so now I'm going to be taking the rim here and throwing it on top of the hub. Unlike the front wheels, it doesn't matter which direction you put the rim on because all of the drilling marks are the same. So you can go ahead and throw it on here. If you don't feel confident doing it without scratching the rim, I suggest you put some tape on the outside here. And you can take your nipples and you can start threading them on the spokes. So the first thing you're gonna do now is figure out which direction the spokes are going in. Your top spokes are gonna be going here counterclockwise, opposite of the bottom spokes. And that's just from how you laid it out originally. So you're gonna take your one spoke, it's gonna be going this direction. You're going to want to find a hole here on the rim that goes in that same direction. As you can see, this hole here, the nipple is pointing in the same way the spoke is. So those two are going to line up, and you can go ahead and thread that one on. Now the bottom spokes are going to be going the opposite direction, so you're going to take this one, line it up with the hole down and to the left from the one you already did, and they should line up perfect. And then you can just repeat this all the way around. You're going to be skipping two holes and then threading in two holes. The ones that you're skipping, we're going to come back and do later with those outside spokes. All right, so now you're going to stand up your wheel and you're going to thread in your inside spokes. This is where you're going to get that cross one pattern. You're going to come in from the inside of the wheel, cross the spoke over in the opposite direction from this one, and it should line right up with one of the holes on the rim. All right, now you can flip it over and do the same exact thing on the other side. gonna go in the same direction. All right, now that your wheel's all laced up, you can work on bringing all of these in. You're gonna thread these nipples in so that way there's no thread showing on all of these, and that's how you know they're at the same point, and then you can work on truing it on the stand. All right, now that you've got all the nipples threaded into the same point, you can go ahead and throw the wheel up on the tree stand. All right, so now you're gonna slowly bring these nipples in. I like to start at the valve hole, so that's how I know I've gone into full rotation. I don't start turning too many times, like backtracking on myself. So you're gonna take a look at the nipple. I'm gonna turn it about 2 full rotations, and you're just gonna wanna watch those marks. And I'm gonna skip 3 of them and do every 4th spoke. Come back through and then do the second one, skip 3, and so forth until they're all done. All right, you might have to do this a couple times for them to start tightening down on the rim. So because I've done all of them, I'm gonna start back over at the first one and do 4 more. So now once you get all the nipples tightened down on the rim, you're gonna be ready to true it. As you can see, it's already kind of true just because we took them in so slowly, but it's still a little bit off. So you're gonna take your indicator or indicators. It's better to have 2 and throw them on here. And you can just start bringing it in as the indicator says it needs to go. All right, so you're gonna be looking at your indicators here, and it's gonna be showing you where the wheel goes out. So as you can see, kind of pops above the 70 mark right there. I'm gonna give it a little push this way, and that's how you know you need to bring it in that way to get it centered. So because it needs to go this way, I'm gonna bring in some spokes on the right side, and that'll pull the rim to the right. And I'm gonna be doing it right where that needle's pointing at. And while you're doing this, you wanna be watching this indicator as well, because this one shows you how much the wheel goes in and out. So right here, I'm gonna bring the wheel to the left. All right, so you don't need to get it perfect yet. Once you get it pretty close, you can go ahead and take off the gauges. And you're gonna use something like this. It's a torque wrench. And this is how you make sure you get all these nipples tightened down pretty tight. Nothing's gonna come loose on you when you're riding. get it set right, and then just go through the same way we brought these nipples in. You're gonna do the first one by the valve hole, skip 3, do it again, go all the way around, then do the second one until they're all done and they're at the same torque. All right, once you get that all torqued down, you're gonna wanna go ahead and take the indicators, put them back on there. You're gonna start shoring it again. This time you're gonna wanna turn the spokes a little bit less each time, because now that everything's really tight, it's really gonna pull it either way when you turn the nipples. And this is when you're gonna wanna get it as close as possible now. Indicators are reading within like 5 1,000 to 10 1,000 something. You gotta take that out. Alright guys, that's how you lace up one of our rear disc conversion hubs to a 17-inch Warp 9 rim. I hope this video helps you out. Good luck guys. Alright guys, that's how you lace and chew one of our rear disc conversion hubs to a Warp 9 rim. You're lucky you didn't hit the wheel, dude. It is Nick's wheel, so I guess it won't really matter.